what a rarity it is to have a 5 UTC match in an American tournament. Who else would have been to schedule these with both Californians in the winners finals here in the minor league of 5 USC 2026? I am your caster, Valine. I am supposed to be joined here with Hydro, but he will be a little bit late, so we will await for his arrival shortly. Give it like 5 to 10 minutes from what we know here, but right now this is kind of another classic bout between these two. I mean, it's kind of wrong to say states. Let's say two halves of the state here. What? It could be the ref naming issue. I don't know. They're not facing against NorCal A. I don't know. We care enough to consider that. We all know that this is in the minor league, so it's all good. Yeah.
Okay. No flag. Live with it, guys. The ref
So
did not put the B in the thingy.
probably, yeah. So quite the history between these two teams. Two semifinal bouts, two grand finals match, including two bracket reset bouts. And it always has been the SoCal to be the one that finishes off on that grand finals bracket reset here. But hopefully in this iteration, there could be a difference here in the outcome between these two states that have historically been dominating in the minor league. But I will say though, SoCal B, because of the density, or more so the spike of density of good players that they've have this year, a lot of unexpected players that a lot of people do know are in this B team, notably Sean, Jakeman, and Boombox here. Sean from the 5WC A team roster and Jakeman from the 5WC B team roster. But it's all about that meritocracy, all about that 5 USC SoCal tryouts, and the results speaks for themselves. And we do see that A team roster that did win out against New York A in that winners finals match that happened around 2 hours ago, or finished around like an hour ago. And let's just face facts here. That roster was built to almost perfection to allow SoCal A to get to that winners grand finals opportunity there. So there's no question about these roster building here from the side of the SoCal state here, despite what we can like assume some anomalous players that could be in this minor league. But for now, the bans are here, and we do see the bans for SoCal to be DT1, DT3.
Oh, sorry, I had to. So there was two Force Mod 1s in the map pool file, so
Classic.
I have to rename that. Let's see if I remember it. It was Force Mod 2.
Yeah, Force Mod 2 was like Force Mod 1 for some reason.
Force Mod 2 for NorCal, DT1, DT3 for... Oops, that is not
Power 3,
DT3.
yeah.
DT1, DT3 for SoCal, and then DT4 for NorCal last ban.
Yeah. Was it DT4? That's crazy.
Yeah, they said, oh wow, in chat.
Oh my goodness. 3 of the DTs are gone. Hydro has joined us here as we have come upon the bans of both states. How are we doing here, Hydro?
Oh yeah, sorry about that. Sorry about that late arrival there, but I'm sure you've already talked a little bit about how this match is going up. I'm doing great after that major league cast. I'm excited to see what this California matchup is going to give us. And yeah, as you said, NorCal A, yeah, with the bans on the anti-mod and the super high AR, and they're gonna be picking what that looks like they didn't one pick first off the bat. Do they have first pick?
Yeah, they did. The bans are already underway in North California. They should have that B under their name, but it seems like the ref has missed the naming there on the team names. But it doesn't matter. We already know that's the minor league here. But the hidden one pick, quite an interesting one indeed. I am aware that Sean and Jake, man, one of those kind of core players surrounding that SoCal B name, won't really lean in on that aim that much. They're more so kind of leaning in on that kind of tapping mechanics thing. But I don't think they're that slouches of the aim department here.
Yeah, for sure. This SoCal roster definitely not a stranger to Hidden, considering the firepower that they have, or the firepower that they have in players like Boombox, Sean, and Jake Man. But this NorCal roster, there's definitely a bit. They definitely have a very big route into this Hidden map as well. I think you're really going to be looking at Kotonashi and I Suck at Hidden, also known as Katie in particular. These two have been very big on the aim maps throughout this tournament. Or very big on the aim maps throughout this tournament. Very big on the hidden maps throughout this tournament. Katie especially so in the hidden department. And I think these are the players that they're going to be banking on to get that carry score, to get that pick. And as we come in, it's gonna be Jake Man, Sean, and Boombox for SoCal. On the side of Northern California, it's Kotonashi and Katie, as well as Banana Man to round out their three.
Yeah. So we'll await for a panic shortly here as Banana Man is still kind of AFK on the top right there. But it's kind of interesting to see NorCal not actually banning any of the easies out, despite the historic times of SoCal B throughout this match here, picking the easies against, I think, almost all of their opponents here. This, except for actually for Ohio that they banned out the easy. But yeah, it was just the other teams I thought they could compete against the easies of SoCal, but unfortunately SoCal just winning it out much more often here because of that. Players like Boombox and I believe Ocean Boy in this roster here. But for now, on this Hidden One though, the aim mechanics here, this could be a first. This could be a litmus test on who could be the better consistency team here.
Yeah, and as we say that, that's Banana Man and Kotonashi both breaking. Everyone on SoCal still holding strong. It's just Katie now for NorCal as we get into this first Ki. And I keep forgetting that Boombox has weird keybinds and is not playing mouse only. That always throws me off. But Sean's gonna be the first one to find the break for the side of SoCal there on that little angle jump there. Banana Man finds a massive chain miss. It's traded out by Jake Man, so it's 1-1 on the FC department. That wasn't the full chain miss, was it?
It
Surely
was.
that was. It was. It's okay.
Yeah.
It's way too late for Ben to notice or to recorrect.
Yeah. But interestingly enough, though, Banana Man and Neoblaze, their 22 or Jake Man is matching in that combo despite that chain miss that Banana Man did show there. So still that 1v1 between Boombox and Katie, or I Suck at Hidden. An ironic name actually, but also kind of Boombox being an unexpected player for that Hidden, even though you would know him for that Hidden here. Maybe it's just the aim that they're very comfortable on. Kotonashi and Banana Man once again missing. They're not going to really help out NorCal to really get out this point for them, especially with a second Hidden missing right there. And this is their first pick also, so it's not looking really good here.
Yeah, the consistency for NorCal may be faltering a little bit on this first pick. Just not able to get situated into the match fast enough. With Kyle or Boombox still holding onto that full combo. Sean with the recovery as well. As I say that, there's a break from Boombox, but they've already sent this lead up to 240,000 with Sean still holding a combo. Banana Man and Sean trade out breaks though, so even with the smaller recovery on Jake Man down at the bottom left, there might still be time if NorCal can find recoveries on all three of their players. Kotonashi breaking, that's not going to look good for them at all, and that might have already closed the first pick out, Valine.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to be honest with the density that this map has, with it being aim, like, I would assume that SoCal would recover as well with NorCal recovering, and they would be matching the recoveries. Despite those two misses coming in, they're still matching recoveries from both of these players of Boombox, Sean and Banana Man and Katie here. So this score lead is just still going to be stalled here and maybe a little bit rising towards SoCal B, and I think SoCal B is just going to win this out.
Yeah, it definitely looked like a bit of a iffy first pick, but every single break from SoCal has just been met by a similar trade from NorCal, and unfortunately, it's not going to be enough. Even with this slight combo advantage here at the end, there was just not going to be enough density. Though there is, at the very least, there is still time for Katie to take the top score of this map. Almost cresting Boombox's 570k with a match of her own, and she's the only one. Nope, she is able to hit this final pattern along with the rest of NorCal, and it will stop the bleeding just a little bit, but the map isn't there. She breaks 600k, and despite the top performance, it's not going to be enough to pull it back. So SoCal is going to take this pretty comfortable break point to start the match off.
Yeah, it was just the supporting elements of NorCal that didn't really match up with the supporting elements of SoCal. Just a stark difference between that 1v1 of like Jake Mib, Neneman, and Kotonashi and Sean there. And like only just barely touching that 400k from both of them in the side of NorCal. So not really great enough in terms of consistency display on the side of NorCal here to really shine on that hit and one. And could be a sign of maybe not the best times to pick on more of that consistency here. Maybe it could be a tired thing. It is after all 10 p.m. over here on the West Coast side. But now SoCal, they have an opportunity for an early lead here with their own first pick.
Yeah, and I mean, looking at the two bands here from NorCal, they took out the anti-mod, they took out the DT4. So you see these extremes in the precision, in the low AR and the high AR. Definitely leaves SoCal open to something like the easy one, or even trying to capitalize on this aim win with something like a Nomad one. It's gonna be the reading pick here from SoCal. Mizore calling it in the chat, and SoCal B gonna get a chance to flex that reading roster sitting in the back, or sitting in the back seat for them.
Yeah, I mean, historically, like I mentioned before earlier on, they've been picking the easy series against their opponents, with the notable exception of Ohio, manning the easy out against them here. And you know, sometimes the NorCal actually would be betting out the easy as well. They did ban out against Maryland and Virginia B here. But interestingly enough, with their strongest opponent ever that they're ever going to face in this minor league stage, they don't ban out the easy here. I mean, I would like to also mention that admittedly, as one of the NorCal organizers, we did pull this for easy last iteration, but most of the players in this roster weren't there to really witness it. Maybe half of it, I would assume, if I recall correctly. But yeah, I think they just left this open specifically because of that comfort factor and that historical fact that, you know, this was in that trials in their pool here.
Yeah, maybe just leaving it open might feel the comfort. Something to note is that there weren't any FCs for SoCal, and if you have an FC on the board for NorCal, you're probably banking on that on the SoCal players coming in with those misses. Right, I think Sean kind of playing a fill role on this easy for SoCal. Definitely will be hoping that he underperforms, but the real big underperformances that you're hoping for if you are NorCal are Boombox and I'm Fukukitaru, also known as Ocean Boy, sort of on that roster, especially for the reading. But for NorCal, it's still going to be Katie, sort of a mainstay on that easy reading roster, as well as Banana Man and King Baxter to replace Kotonashi here. But this map, I think, really is gonna test your comfortability with easy. It's not just an aim map you can memorize. You really have to be good with the density and the finger control with the patterns of this SR. And Banana Man's gonna be finding an early break here.
Yeah, so a little bit of the slaughter break and there, maybe a little bit of a misstep, but also Sean critting it out with Banana Man. So it could be all good as well because of the length of the map here for 3 minutes 31 seconds. So 10k score difference, still a little bit of a fragile one for the side of SoCal here, and it could go towards the side of NorCal, but unfortunately King Baxter with that miss there, much more consequential of a miss than Banana Man's there, could be a detriment to NorCal potentially winning out this easy one.
Yeah, and there's with that trade from King Baxter, it's now just the two FCs on Ocean Boy and Boombox against only Katie now. She finds the miss aim, and it's gonna mean NorCal is completely down on the FCs. Sean missing, that's gonna help out, but it doesn't matter when you have two FCs on the board, Boombox and Ocean Boy. And as they hit that spinner and come to this first slower section, that's only gonna be more free combo for for the two of them to continue to cement this lead in their favor.
Yeah, indeed. 80k score difference, and it's just going to keep on rising. Despite that Sean miss earlier, it's just those two big combos of Ocean Boy and Boombox here. I mean, what can you say, man? Of both of these players, they have that caliber of being in that easy WC roster. Despite them being in the minor league, it's still very commendable, as you know, the U.S. is notably one of the more competitive countries ever to really be in the World Cup kind of team environment. And there's no question about that 5WC is one of those as well here. And right now, you know, we're kind of using this tournament as a way to scout out, you know, some of these players here for that potential 5WC roster that could be coming up soon, but not really that soon, only like 6 months away. And unfortunately, these consistent misses of NorCal isn't going to really help them out whatsoever to bring this back. But it's just incredible stuff right now from Boombox and Ocean Boy.
Yeah, these two just making an absolute clinic right now of this map. Boombox is still on a 1x100. Both of them still on 99, even with the recovery from Katie. Boombox gonna find the miss, so that's going to stop the bleeding by just a little bit, but it's far too gone for NorCal to take this back now. All eyes now on Ocean Boy, the easy specialist for SoCal, to bring this point in the style of an FC. We get into another very heavy and repetitive overlap part. You know, the strain has to be there after almost 3 full minutes of easy reading. Ocean Boy, do not blink.
Yeah, and it's just, again, those, like, not the supporting combos of NorCal that's not going to really help. And especially with Kate not really bringing up the scores that they would like here. Like, what can you do with really two kind of easy specialists here with Boombox and Ocean Boy that Soka has provided, at Soka B specifically? And man, something to really fear throughout the entire rest of the tournament here, with Soka B just consistently winning out these easies. And right now, NorCal, it's not really something to worry about. It's just, you know, them losing their first pick and now just Soka winning their pick. So, you know, there's just a chance here that they can win this next pick and just keep it at bay, this lead.
Yeah, there it is. Ocean Boy winning. Ocean Boy in the style of an FC will bring it over for SoCal. Katie and Boombox with some very good scores, very high combos, but star of the show right there. Now NorCal, I think NorCal might be at a little bit of a loss here. They've just lost that hidden one that they need there, or that they were hoping to get, or to eke out the win on. So not the best footing for them to start off. There is definitely a route where they go tapping here. I think we've yet to see players like Bless KM come in, or even Quachi, the more hard rock and DT oriented players for this roster, and they may think about pivoting to their performances, especially with the DT1 and DT3 bans that came from SoCal B.
Yeah, I mean, I would like to mention Kochi might potentially not be here. They are in a Japan trip, but I think I'm aware that they are in like an internet cafe. I'm not sure how well that setup will fare for them, but instead, NorCal is just gonna opt in for another aim map here in the Nomad 1. After that interesting hidden one kind of display, but I will probably comment that maybe they just kind of low rolled on that hidden one and they feel really confident in the aim here to really pick into this.
Yeah, you know, and I think it does take I do think it does take, you know, some confidence to go, well, we lost the hidden one. It was by a pretty far margin, but you know, we'll stick to our guns, we'll stick to our strategy. I think it takes a lot of confidence in your players in order to hold to your strategy, and I think NorCal historically has been one of those states, that is able to come in with that confidence. And I think it's coming into this Nomad 1, I think it's going to again be Katie and Kotonashi to bring up the carry scores. This map has almost every time it's picked been hinging on what one or two players can do as they hold combo throughout the map. For SoCal, you're probably probably still looking at Boombox, definitely, or probably still looking at Boombox, and likely Jake Man and Mizore in order to fill out the rest of that AIM roster.
Yeah, and as you said, that Boombox did come in, despite Boombox maybe being that hidden preference player, it did display quite the aim mechanics from that hidden one score that they have shown. But yeah, with that confidence, you also need to have that belief in yourself as well. If you don't have that belief, you won't have that confidence to really bring out the scores that you would want for your team, and also the belief in your own teammates as well, to give your teammates that confidence to win out these points. Because if you don't really have that belief in your teammates, then what is the point of a team tournament anyways? But now NorCal, this is just now on them to believe in themselves to hopefully get this Nomad 1 win here, despite that hidden 1 result.
Yeah, and this map, I mean, it's Nomad 1. There's really no other map as confidence based as this Nomad 1. Sean gonna be finding an early break here for the side of SoCal, but not really going to turn the tides of the match so much here, as everyone does find their bearing through the larger jumps at the beginning.
Yeah, so now this is Missouri actually in over who was it, Jake Man was in that hitter 1. So yeah, kind of maybe more comfortable in this kind of natural generic kind of an aim map here. Sean missing once again, nothing to really worry about just yet because of the length of this map here. Maybe it's just, but it's just more so those misses of the
Oh my
KIs.
God.
But we already see two-way misses from both SoCal and NorCal there right before that first KI here. Kotonashi being the one to still hold that aim player for the side of NorCal, be historically the aim player for NorCal as a whole, and still holding on for them really crucially here. But it is much more needed as for Kotonashi to hold on much more longer here for this score lead to go much further to the side of NorCal if you want to get this win.
Yeah, Kotonashi, the only combo on the board, and all eyes are going to be on him coming to this Ki. Mizore, the largest recovery for the side of SoCal, breaking. Boombox with a recovery. Katie matching Boombox, though, and Banana Man more or less matching. Yep, now more than matching Schwer, so every player on NorCal matching or doing better than their counterpart. But there's a miss from Kotonashi. There's the chance that SoCal needs to get back into this. But it's going to be, or it's going to go flat as long as Katie holds this combo out against Boombox.
Yeah.
This
Slight. Yeah. Sorry, you can go ahead.
Sorry. Coming into this halfway point, though, we've seen a lot of score caps here. And so whoever holds into this transition, Banana Man has been struggling to hold a combo throughout this map. That may start to be an issue as the map, or as the lead starts to inch towards SoCal.
Ooh. Yo, and then just like that, they hit this spike right before that Ki. Boombox actually missing right afterwards here, but still, there was those recoveries of Short Bellathon, and Missouri is undeniable here. Missouri being the one to miss once again, but also Kotonashi to trade it out here, so it should be going towards that advantage of SoCal B here with this recovery. I was about to say recovery of Sean, but unfortunately Sean missing now, so now it's kind of dead even between these two states here. Banana Man still with their kind of sole recovery of 200 combo, following up with Katie here of a second hit, and Boombox with their own recoveries as well. But this is combo advantage is going towards the side of NorCal, but just barely though.
Yeah, and the question is, Banana Man, what can you do here? The lead is just barely, it's in the 4 digits. It goes past big aim pattern here, but it's Boombox and Banana Man to break. Both big combos are down now, but it's Kotonashi to match Schwerk, and Katie now to hold her own. And as this map comes down to the very end, this map does not let out until the very last note. This lead so tenable right now. Mizori's gonna find the break now. Sean and Katie to continue. Mizori finds another miss, but time is fast running out into this final part of the map. NorCal has to hold on to the very end, though.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of these scores now are kind of maxed out here. You do see those two misses coming in from Boombox and Missouri. That's going to help them out much more so from that miss of Sean. Everything is resetted here. It's just the sole remaining recovery of Kotonashi, the one to finally bring it back here for them, for NorCal, to get this first point here, and much so to not allow SoCal to go up 3-0.
Yeah, and there's that confidence from NorCal there. It was a dicey pick in the middle, but they stuck to their guns. They didn't let that loss on the hidden one phase them at all, and they are going to be able to get themselves on the board here, and they'll have a chance. They'll have a chance to take this or to take this breakpoint back with SoCal's next pick. But SoCal still has a lot of very strong picks. Considering what just happened, I just won the hidden. I just won the easy. I'd be eyeing down that hidden too as a pick since they left it open.
Yeah, but that hidden two could be a little scary. Could be because it's kind of more harder to be a little bit consistent on because of the awkward aim aspect and the volatility of the hidden modification. I could maybe wager that they can pick that flex one with that easy DT that is still open. But that one is kind of deceptively hard in its aim as well, more so than Rave to Rave because of the flow elements that can be really awkward and also with the notes that are pretty spread apart. But as I say that, they are indeed leaning into that flex one. So, this is just probably a result of what they saw in that easy one that NorCal was kind of struggling on.
Yeah, and we haven't seen this. We have yet to see this flex one pick. Very last match of finals weekend. What a joy that we're gonna get to see it this time around.
Hmm. So, as I already mentioned, with the flex one, it's just the flow aspects that can really catch people off guard. And with the easy, it's easy to think, funny enough, that if you can just aim at these patterns good enough, then you can probably hit them. But with this flow aspects here, you can kind of have a mishap here and there if you're not careful on those flow aim patterns, and maybe even so on those kind of a 153 stream kind of strain there. Even though the OD of this easy DT is quite low, you do have those occasional mishaps of them just missing at the last note of the stream. But for now, this is SoCal being once again confident in their easy prowess here because of the duo of Boombox and Ocean Boy.
Yeah, and I think, and we come back to it every time, or just because this is how the start of the match has gone. It's gonna still be Katie and Banana Man to sort of to form the core of this NorCal gimmick hidden reading roster, and then King Baxter coming in for that third support. Neo Blazer now. Jake Man actually switching out for Schwerk this time. Maybe the more finger control-y aspect of this map. Just complementing Jake Man's skill set a little bit more than Sean's more mechanical focus.
Yeah, I mean, it was also Sean that kept on missing much more earlier on. Kind of that field player for the SoCal side here, much more so apparent when he played in the 5WC team. And, you can kind of repeat the same here for the side of Banana, who kind of hasn't been starting off much more well at the beginning of this match, but hopefully can have some sort of redemption here. But, as I say that despite replacing that Shork Velothon, it was the first one to miss is the Jake Man, and also Ocean Boy missing as well. This map is relatively, actually never mind, it's 3 minutes 46 seconds, so there's still more opportunities to get those scores. King Baxter and Boombox are going to be the ones to trade out their misses, and like I said, these flow patterns and aim patterns will be deceptively hard to aim at here. You think the easy with the big circles is easy to aim, but no, you actually have to physically aim these patterns here.
Yeah, and everyone is struggling here. Some recoveries mounting for SoCal here in Ocean Boy and Jake Man, but it's still that FC coming from Katie right now. Boombox is struggling here on the flow aim, still finding lots of misses. King Baxter, though, going to trade it out as well as Banana Man, but we've already seen that miss from Sean, so it's just Ocean Boy against Katie, and Ocean Boy actually winning in the accuracy department, but so far behind on combo that Katie is really just going to let this keep going away. And at the halfway point, wow, look at these scores, Valiant.
Yeah, Boombox missing again. Yeah, I comment that you can just have those mishaps on those streams and Boombox to just experience that. Still, Ocean Boy really competitive now against Katie here. So this score lead from the side of Norco is kind of fragile here because of those uh, uh, because of that Ocean Boy combo here, but there is the recoveries that are coming in from Benenaman and King Baxter, but King Baxter did just miss there as well. So now all eyes are on Benenaman to hopefully support Katie here to get out this score lead towards her side. The map is almost ending here, especially with Katie and Ocean Boy still holding, but Boombox missing again, and also King Baxter. Sean, never mind. Jake, man, sorry, is also gonna miss though. It's still that FC versus the combo recovery of Katie and Ocean Boy. 80k score difference, and it's just probably gonna still continue this way because of the map here almost being over.
Yeah, and at the very end, Katie hits the final pattern, and she is able to close out the FC. Ocean Boy just trying to trail close behind, but no cigar for him. Had he been able to FC, it could have come back, but unfortunately for SoCal, they will be conceding the breakpoint, and NorCal will manage to bring it back to even on the backs of a great carry performance from Katie.
Yeah, and honest to God, that's quite the unexpected underperformance from the side of Boombox. Maybe those flow aim patterns did really catch them off guard more than usual here, even with Jakeman getting a higher accuracy than the Boombox. So maybe the tapping aspect could be the thorn on their side on the reading picks here. But of course, that hidden two doesn't really have any reading picks, more so of an aim map than anything. But with you know Boombox missing on those aim aspects of this not easy to flex one, then that hidden two pick could be called into question though if Soka were to decide to choose it.
That's gotta bring a lot confidence back to NorCal, getting that breakpoint. And with that, they are finally going to be finally going to be tapping into, well, their tapping roster here with this DT2 pick.
So it's kind of interesting. I'm kind of curious who their third be. I already know who their two are. Their two cores of Katie and Blessed Cam, but the third will be a big question mark. Maybe King Baxter could come in and if he brings back his olden days of the tapping speed that can bring. I mean, he has been in a few of the tapping maps previously in the previous rounds, but of course that's the slow SR. We are in that high SR department of the 5-digit scene here, so could be quite the change of difficulty for King Baxter, or maybe adaptability, sorry. But otherwise, yeah, missing Quetchi or potentially missing Quetchi could be a big factor of the outcome of the DT2. But if they did pick this DT2, then maybe Quetchi is probably in this match.
Yeah, I mean, I would have, I'd be quite concerned or maybe not concerned, but definitely would be questioning the pick a little bit had Quetchi not been there. So I will assume that they are in for this. They are in to play this map. Ooh. Meanwhile, no, I think it's King Baxter. Meanwhile, for the side of SoCal, it's that core in Jakeman and Sean, and then Mizore coming in as their the more specialized tapping player or mechanics player for this map here. Sean and Jakeman both have been on pretty big trajectories. Sean making 5Ws for that hidden and that speed. So we'll see how this how they're able to fare once the client decides it wants to cooperate. And I guess Katie doesn't get the background.
Yeah, but actually, yeah, but with the gameplay, the background, it doesn't matter too much here. So King Baxter going in for this tapping map over the side of Quetchi here. So Quetchi looks like it is confirmed that they're not going to be participating in this match, unfortunately. So going to be a 5v6 for the side of NorCal against SoCal. But actually, the act of King Baxter, though, is really impressing me right now. Still holding on to that 99 here. Actually, now just dipping into that 98. So it is still those three combo FCs, as I said that, but Mizore did just miss there. This map is pretty short though, so that miss could really be consequential here, especially with the added miss of Jake Man.
Yeah, the ad miss from Jake Man really gonna hurt. It's just Sean now to hold it against King Baxter, and not just King Baxter. It's the triple FC. Bless there almost breaking it on the double before the break. But it's Katie, it's Bless, it's King Baxter, all with very nice accuracies. Bless struggling there a little, but another break from Jake Man is gonna continue to let that lead come over. Bless finally missing King Baxter with a little bit of a scare there, but he holds the combo, and that's what's gonna matter. The score lead will continue to go over, but there's finally a miss. Mizori trades it now as well, so it's just a 1v1 versus Katie and Sean. Jake Man trying to bring it back with some recovery, but the map is almost over. I don't think there's enough time. Sean, wait, there might be enough time. Katie finds the break.
Is there enough time though? This is one of the few last bursts that are coming in. I don't know if there's enough notes to bring this back.
I don't think there is, but it's going to be very close. Jake Man finds the break on the final stream. It's not going to be enough, but it's almost 40,000 points, and NorCal is going to just barely eke away with that second, or with their third point.
Oh man, if only those recoveries of Jakeman or Mizori just held on and right until the end, it would have been really doable for them to get another breakpoint of their own. But right now, it's just NorCal consolidating off of their own breakpoint here and getting a third, and now just back to equilibrium now, with SoCal now going into their pick to get their third potential point here. But yeah, now that DT2 result is kind of a little bit concerning. I don't know if they'll lead into the Noma 2 in the future because of that, really small score lead there. But yeah, it's just gonna. We're already seeing a really close matchup here between these two halves of the state.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, I'd be a little hesitant if I were NorCal too right now. But having that, at least having that pit or that tapping map, just in the clear, right? Move on, get past it. Just going forward though, it's going forward. I think their strategy is really gonna revolve around what they can do with that carry performance that Katie's putting on right now. And SoCal's gonna try to respond with the No Mod 4, gonna try to play on the more unconventional maps in order to get their points here. And very strong choice with who I assume will be going in Jake Man, in Sean, and probably Boombox.
Yeah. This is, I think, them with the easy win and flex mod picks. Like, this is just them obviously picking into these really dense picks. There's no mod 4 being really unquestionable on the density that it has shown throughout the weekends here. Well, it's Monday, but throughout the previous weekend finals here between the two leagues of major and minor league. So yeah, I think honestly one of the more I guess obvious picks, but not like the first obvious pick, maybe like a third obvious pick right here because of the denseness. And yeah, I think we can maybe expect the rosters coming in that you could expect as we enter into the gameplay scene shortly. But this number 4 could be also a little bit volatile as well with how fast it can feel with the AR.
Yeah, you're right. That density is really something to note. It's right. It's AR. Yeah, it is AR 9.7, but with all of the changing rhythms and the BPM being 204, right? This map definitely puts your reading to the test as well as your aim and your tech control. And it's again gonna be Banana Man and Katie. Again, this super core for the roster, Katie especially. And they're gonna be bringing in Bless, so not Kotonashi, who I would have expected to come in for this. I guess we've seen this gambit where states go with their more mechanics-oriented player, going for the No Mod 4. We saw it with Jexi on Texas B, and I guess they're gonna go with Bless this time around for NorCal.
I mean, there are just like a little tad bits of like tapping mechanics here and there. I mean, I guess maybe like maybe how fast this map can feel. It could be also that factor, including that AR 9.7 factor that plays in. But yeah, kind of interesting to see Bless here, as you know, you do mostly know them for that tapping prowess for the NorCal B side here. But yeah, as you said, you know, it's just Jakeman and Sean, and even Boombox coming in for the set of SoCal to potentially win out this third point here.
Yeah, and coming into it, the accuracies are looking a little more comfortable across the board on SoCal, as evidenced by that lead. But with these big set of jumps, it's a trade out, so no combo advantage into this first part. We've seen a lot of people break on this slider aim right after the transition.
Yeah, so you know, honestly, maybe having Fukuoka actually in would be kind of nice with that aim aspects that both Sean and Bless came in, but that doesn't matter. They're still actually holding on to their own recoveries here really nicely to help out these two combos from either side. To have this score difference be really minuscule between these two teams, and they're not really letting up here as this break of the map is coming in right now. So really, the true outcome of this map could be that second and last KI.
Oh yeah, it's definitely going to come down to it, but this middle section, deceptively difficult. We've seen a lot of people. We saw Virginia B completely collapse on this, but it looks like no one is going to fall victim here. The score lead's still on a razor's edge. These final jumps, Banana Man breaks the FC, NorCal completely falls apart, and it's still all three combos on SoCal to hold. Sean is going to find the miss, but that already calls it for this Nomad for Boombox now, the only FC on the board.
Yeah, and funnily enough, it was the aim that really caught them all off guard there. Despite, you know, them winning out that Nomad 1, and even though losing out the hidden 1 is just the aim that really bites them back in the foot on this Nomad 4 here. But this is a SoCal pick after all, so SoCal, they're the ones to win at their point here, and NorCal, they can just kind of sit back and say, oh, that was just a SoCal pick. So nothing to really worry about just yet, as this is a tied up match right now. So NorCal, what will you answer back?
I do not see it. I do not see it on the bottom left of my screen. I do not see it. Very good, very nice FC from Boombox. It's little down on the accuracy department, but you know, right, it's a combo game at the end of the day, and a very strong team score. I think this is among the highest that we've seen throughout the entire tournament this week.
Yeah. Like when you have 5WC caliber players in your B team, like yeah, what can you do? But that is just the outcome of SoCal having much more dense of a talent pool this year. Quite interestingly enough, despite you know, or what am I saying? Like in comparison to what they've had last year, it's quite the jump up of that density in talent pool. You know, with cat food coming back to the 20s scene, Sean just improving greatly, Jakeman improving greatly, and Ocean Boy still kind of ever so present in that easy for their state to really rely upon there. But right now, despite the history of SoCal, we do see a hidden 3 pick from the NorCal side here, maybe relying upon the volatility of flow to really catch up SoCal.
Yeah, and I mean it's tit for tat here, right? Come in with a weird pick. NorCal is gonna try to fight back with arguably an even weirder one here. The volatility on this map, it has been crazy to watch scores fluctuate by 200, 300, even 400k between plays on this map. And you know, we've already seen a few low rolls here. I think the Flex one in particular from Boombox coming to mind. So maybe this maybe the flow here gonna be a good angle for NorCal to take, and evidently they think the same as they're gonna pick into it. It's gonna be Kotanashi and King Baxter, and of course Katie gonna be coming in just as we speak. Nope, Banana Man, not Kotanashi. Yep, it's Banana Man, I think, unless they're still deciding. No, I lied.
Yeah, it's looking like to be Banana Man, that kind of hidden player for the side of NorCal here. And honestly, though, like despite this California being known as the state of like the hidden players, you know, most of these like quote unquote hidden players just don't really prefer to play a lot of these maps with hidden. They're just simply good at it. And you know, I would like notably say that Banana Man and Azurium, or Skyzy as people would know them as, they prefer to play Hard Rock over hidden even. But with what they've shown throughout their tournament history, they do have that capability of playing the hidden modification here and bringing out good scores. But it's also that dedication that they brought forth to really bring out those high scores here. So right now, hopefully this veteran presence of NorCal can really bring it out to win out this hidden dream.
Yeah, and I think it takes a lot. It definitely takes a lot to come in for mods that you're not strong on, but you have to fill them. But these players at this caliber, they make it look like they make it look like their first skill set with the way that they play. Banana Man's gonna be finding the first drop though, and the accuracies on SoCal should note all of them are incredibly high at or near 99, and it's just King Baxter contending in the accuracy department, but there are still 2 FCs on NorCal. So with the breaks that are bound to come in for this map, there is going to be more than enough time for this to start evening out. And there it is. There's a break from Boombox to start evening the combos out.
Yeah, and also the miss coming in from Jakeman as well. So I'm kind of curious to see who will hit the eventual div spike that's going to come shortly during that middle part of the map from this custom of Saramongoose here. I think it's coming up right here, right now, actually. There goes Sean. There goes actually a full reset of NorCal now. So now it's just those small recoveries of Jakeman and Boombox that actually those misses earlier could really benefit them in the long run here.
Yeah, those misses could benefit them. Didn't come into that section with nerves, possibly. Lots of act drops coming from both of them, though. But they have a very small combo lead. They do not plan to let that go to waste right now. Both of them just nailing this flow now. King Baxter with a big chain miss. That's gonna bring it over to their side. And at the slow slider, everyone's able to hit it, but that only benefits SoCal as we keep getting deeper into this map.
Yeah, even though it is only still in the middle of that 3/4 the way here in this map, so this score lead still a little bit of a sus one, especially from those 2 misses of Sean and Boombox. So now that score lead could be halted there, but that recovery of Jakeman though is undeniable, and it's just a full reset now on those 2 combos of King Baxter and Katie and also Jakeman. But now it's just all eyes on Banana Man to bring this back for NorCal, but it could require an FC up the rest of the way.
Yeah, little bit of help coming in from the side of SoCal though as Sean finds a miss. It is coming down though. There's more than enough time. It's just a matter of will he hold on long enough to see it happen. Every one of the slider patterns brings it down just a few more thousand, but there's still incredibly difficult sections of this map to go. The cuts. Sean finds a big chain miss. That brings it down even further. And time is on NorCal's side, but will the recoveries matter enough? Will they be able to hold on just long enough? It's going to be down to the edge. Banana Man, hold on. You've been here for so long for this state. Can you bring this point back? You are going to bring this point back. A full break from everyone but Boombox, but it's more than enough. 100k and it's going to come down, but it doesn't matter. NorCal is going to take the point back off an incredible recovery from Banana Man. And Katie is also going to be there with King Baxter to hold at the very end. But what a performance to bring it back in the dying moments of that map.
Yeah, and honestly, the unsung heroes of King Baxter and Katie that held on to almost a 500 combo there right at the end to allow that score lead to really halt for their side and to not allow SoCal's recoveries to really bring that score lead back. And indeed, Banana Man with that big hold to allow NorCal that win in this hidden 3, getting them the 4th point there, and another close pick of NorCal's that was really close to call. But SoCal, I don't know. They want to lead into more of that alt picks. I mean, that Harvard 3 is available, but it's not that density that you would need as well because of what you've historically have been picking here. So maybe the normal 3 could be an option, but with that hidden 3 loss, it could be also questionable. But also, with that how close that hidden 3 was, it could be a confidence pick for them if they decide to choose it.
Could be, yeah, it could be a confidence pick coming in for them, but they are instead going to be opting to go for the hidden two. So we are going to be sort of running out the reading maps here. This is the, well, I guess the last of the density, the last of the big reading maps in this pool. And so, right, saving the SoCal saving this, you know, I'm surprised they didn't pick it a little bit earlier, but still coming in, going to be coming in very strong. They have that hidden reading duo of Boombox and Ocean Boy that we've mentioned earlier, and you've got Sean, you've got Jake, man, you've got you've got an assortment of players that could opt to fill this map however you wish.
Yeah, but with what we've seen in that Flex 1, you can kind of get taken aback from maybe the aim that you don't expect to really focus too much on. But on this particular hidden two, you would really need to focus on that aim aspects, especially with those slight rhythm changes that could really change up those aim patterns, and including the hidden mod with that low AR that can add on to that volatility of not being able to combo that well for any of these players that could theoretically be comfortable on it. So this hidden 2 pick could actually be really scary here because of how SoCal lost on that Flex Mod 1.
Yeah, but something to note is that for NorCal, right, it was the carry performance from Katie, who's just been playing so well, so consistent this match, consistently being that player that NorCal needs. And so if Katie does find a break, the team consistency on SoCal across the board there's a pretty good chance that they can bring it back, but right at the same time, that means everyone on this team has to perform, so they will definitely have eyes on them. The nerves will be there for all of them.
Yeah, and I commented earlier in this match that Banana Man was kind of starting off really slow, but kind of made that redemption for himself in that hidden 3 comeback when they held on just much more longer for NorCal to win it out there, just barely by that 40k score difference, I believe. Already an early miss from the side of Ocean Boy here, but nothing to really worry about just yet, as the length of the map is, even though 2 minutes 16 seconds, those early big combo leads do really matter, and we did see that those early combo leads matter so much more when we saw SoCal winning it out against New York in the winners brackets of Major League there because of those early combos and the really good FC. But those 2 misses of Sean and Ocean Boy isn't going to really help out SoCal here whatsoever with these 1 versus 2 FCs here that NorCal is in an advantage of.
Yeah, and Kotanashi almost finding a break on that stream, but the score lead is continuing to rise with this double FC from Banana Man and Kotanashi. Banana Man finally gonna find the break here, but that's already quite the sizable score lead. And as long as this 1v1 goes, or as long as this 1v1 goes on, it won't come back. With that break from Ocean Boy, the recoveries now are favoring NorCal as well. So Boombox, the pressure is on. He has to be the one to hold this FC. Katie's gonna break her recovery. And at this rhythm change, both FCs handling quite nicely. Boombox catching up pretty fast to Kotanashi's accuracy. And on this slider, no one finds the break. Valine, it's gonna be, a big miss from Kotanashi!
Yeah, a big miss as well, and no really notable recoveries to note about from the side of NorCal. Oh, but there goes the miss though from Boombox, so now that score lead is just gonna hold, and with that sole remaining small combo lead of Katie there, it's just gonna be a win for the side of NorCal on the SoCal pick of Hidden 2. Another break point for the side of NorCal to win off of.
Yeah, and there it is. Yet again at the end of the map, it's Katie to come up, struggling a little bit at the start, but she's going to be the one to hold the best accuracy. She's going to be the one to hold the combo into the end. And again, this full out team performance from NorCal here. Kotanashi holding the FC, contending with Boombox, Banana Man and Katie with the support every step of the way through. NorCal is going to be reversing that momentum from SoCal B, and they are now going to be the ones up a break point here, again with their own pick to consolidate and bring it to an early match point.
Yeah. Early match point and maybe an uncharacteristic underperformance from the side of Ocean Boy, but I had to mention this even though I can be beating a dead horse, but it's just the aim that can really, really catch you off guard. It's just not the reading that you have to be good at, but also the mechanics as well. So right now, it was just Ocean Boy that maybe didn't have the mechanics in them to really win out that hidden two and allowing for NorCal to win it out, especially with the surprise slot in of Kotanashi over King Baxter. Usually King Baxter would be in for those reading class, but because he doesn't really like those kind of aim hidden twos, then it's understandable that Kotanashi could be in. And Kotanashi did fare well in a hidden two with actually top scoring that lobby there for the hidden two.
Yeah, and now as we get into this point of the match, it's become a lot more tense. Not there aren't too many picks that, or there aren't too many one-sided picks here. Nanaman going to be putting that Nomad 2 in Blue Zenith. And this could be a NorCal-sided map just on paper, right? You have that tapping. Or this could be a little NorCal-sided, right? The momentum of the match with DT2 and that performance from King Baxter and Katie doing the work for them. But this is on it, but this could definitely go the other way. You still have Sean to contend with. You still have Jake Man to contend with. It's, again, looking to be a close map for this Nomad 2, Valine.
Yeah, I mean, there was around a 40k score difference in that DT2 that almost went to the side of SoCal because of those holds and that those players come, but it was just enough of a recovery and a hold on the side of NorCal to win on that DT2. So, but this one, much more of a consistency check here with this 200 BPM strain of a Blue Zenith map right here. King Baxter once again going to be going into this tapping map, maybe to fill in over Quachi here, but I mean, he's doing really well actually so far on those tapping maps because he was actually the highest act on a DT2 for the side of NorCal. So, maybe really good stuff in the high skill ceiling things for the King Baxter tapping.
Yeah, and really that's incredibly important. This entire roster, or for both these teams really, but I think NorCal in particular, they've got a lot more experience when it comes to these higher star ranges. A lot of these players have been in the tournament scene for longer, have been even up to 4-digit and above in rank range. So having that experience at the higher scaling, especially in this scenario, it means a lot. It really means a lot. And as we come into this Nomad 2, it's gonna be Boombox actually coming in. Boombox, I think, kind of forget this guy can play Nomad 2. Not really in for the speedy stuff, but at this BPM range, it's a pretty underlooked skill set that might get capitalized on here from by NorCal.
Yeah, I'm kind of reminded of New Jersey A picking, or I think it was Florida picking that Nomad 2. Oh no, it was New Jersey picking the Nomad 2, and they had Project Villain, like their other reading player and kind of hidden player, filling in for this Nomad 2 here. Not saying that it's a bad omen for reading players to fill that Nomad and losing this pick, but this is that NorCal pick, so I don't think it's not something that SoCal should really worry about. But at the same time, these first kind of few parts of the map are going to be really easy here if you're really well acquainted with the BPM that this map can provide.
Yeah, and there's small aim here. Possible breaks in the buzz sliders. No one's gonna break. It is gonna be a slight accuracy lead for the side of SoCal though. Just the triple 99s from Mizori, Boombox, and Sean coming in. But with this slow part, but here at the slow part, random 100s could come in, but really it's not gonna matter. The nerves though are going to matter, and they will start mounting as we start to enter the first big stream section of this map.
Yeah, and honestly, like this kind of part here really helps out like this tapping players a lot, because a lot of tapping players, like, they really hate like slow parts in between like tapping sections, because you kind of ruining like the warmth of like your wrist here, that is kind of needed to really continue to tap well. And so far so good for all 6 of these players there. So what I just mentioned earlier was kind of a fun fact for tapping players there, and you might experience it if you started learning tapping as well. This map kind of being helpful, but also a very consequential miss from the side of Strong. A short Velothon there, missing right in the middle of the map, so capping off their score of 500k right then and there.
Yeah, that's gonna be a big miss coming, or that's gonna be a big miss that NorCal can capitalize here. They've got 3 combos coming in, but the flow aim is about to get a lot more space. The end of this first stream section, both losing it incredibly hard, but it's Missouri to break now. It's just Boombox. The reading play here, we don't expect it, but we've seen it happen before. King Bacter's gonna find the trade there, but Missouri finds another break. Sean trying his best to recover. Boombox trying his best to hold. He does manage to hold, but it's 2 FCs on Bless, KM, and Katie. This duo on the tapping. Bless finds a miss at the end of the stream section, so it is a 1v1, but Katie, with the 99%, still has the accuracy advantage, still has the score lead coming their way. We've still got an entire stream section to go, Valian.
Yeah, and a combo recovery and an advantage to SoCal B with Sean recovering 700 combo right there. So those misses of Katie and not Katie, sorry, of Bless and Baxter could really affect the lead of NorCal, but there goes that Missouri recovery gone. Boombox maybe running out of stamina, maybe over aiming, but who knows? It's just gonna allow NorCal to get this 250k score lead and rising as Katie continues to combo throughout Blue Zenith. And ladies and gentlemen, I don't think this match point potential isn't a potential anymore with those scores that are coming in, with these recoveries that are coming in, with this 320k score difference that is coming in. Nothing that SoCal can answer back. Missouri, that recovery means nothing with this match point inevitability that NorCal brings right here.
And there it is again. NorCal with the phenomenal carry from Katie here is gonna bring it to a match point, is gonna force SoCal's hand here. And NorCal have been waiting for this moment. It has been years since they have gotten to stand atop the winner's bracket, and they are just one map away from closing this winner's bracket out, and from finally making it to that grand finals from the winner's side. But but SoCal still has the fight in them. They are going to have to take their time here, but this is not a done deal yet. We've seen recoveries before, and with these rosters, there's no telling what's up next for either of these California teams.
Yeah, and we're already seeing a timeout from the set of SoCal there. I mean, it's understandable with what you've seen here with the score line that you're seeing right now, a 6-3 score line in NorCal's favor. I mean, what can you do with the tournament environment that even though you know you're good at this and that skill sets, you can really choke out those very specific skill sets that you're good at because of the nerves that the tournament environment brings you, and because of the 5-digit scene specifically being quite abundant in having new players coming in. And with these players, probably some of these players first time in this kind of match environment here, or kind of pressure as well. So I know that Missouri can really get out some good tapping scores in them as well, but they didn't have that much of a satisfactory accurate in this Noma 2. So it is just that tournament nerves factor that can really affect you greatly if you're not used to it.
Yeah, and it's it really does happen, as it really does become a factor as these players like Missouri, like Latte, they move up right from the C team, or from the C teams to the B teams and even the major leagues. It's for a lot of these players, it is their first time in this high stakes scenario, and even when you have the security of going, oh, I'm top 3, oh, I've still got a chance in losers. The nerve, especially on those second and third players that don't have that experience, is a big factor here. And NorCal has done a phenomenal job of answering to that pressure with their match point, but Missouri and the rest of SoCal just talking it out for a real long time here. I'm not 100% sure what the pick is here for them either.
Yeah, I think one of the last remaining kind of dense picks that exists could be that Force Mod 1. But that does have its own kind of not saying really concern, but more of like uh, the patterning that can really bring out like some really shit missable sliders here and there because of how fast that map is. But I guess other potential maps that can be in could maybe be actually, I don't know. That number 5 is open, but also kind of a little bit questionable at best as well. But as I said that, I am right in that they are opting in for this Force Mod 1 here. I think one of the last strong picks as well.
Yeah, this Force Model 1, I think it's lots of even match or lots of heads butting here. I think for sure we're gonna be seeing Katie and Sean on the or sort of duking it out on the hit, and probably Banana Man taking that comfort hard rock as you mentioned earlier against I assume they'd have someone like Jake Man on for that. Because right, you do, or no, sorry, Mizore. You probably need Mizore on that, right? Owing to the fact that you do need that hard rock. As for the last slot on both teams, I'm not 100% sure who that could be. I don't think it's something we see normally. I do think we could see Boombox in for sure. He's been playing quite well, as evidenced by that Nomad 2 and even the hit-ins earlier. For the side of NorCal though, it's anyone to take it, and having that comfortability and anyone can play this, that's got to be a big confidence boost, even as this comes to SoCal's pick.
Yeah. So I wouldn't imagine anyone taking easy on this. The easy multiplier is a 2.5 if anyone is curious who are new here, because this map is really, really fucking hard with easy. The only easy FC on this map in the leaderboard actually was from C. Steven from New York A. They're now in that losers grands meeting up against New Jersey A next week, or actually sorry, this week actually is Monday now. But yeah, that easy, if we do see it, I will be really impressed if there's going to be a high score, but it seems like we won't be seeing it here.
No,
Wait,
am I crazy? I think we are seeing an easy.
Oh
I
wow,
think
they have the same
that's
combo
Ocean
color.
Boy taking an easy.
Yeah,
That is
yeah.
Ocean Boy taking the easy.
Oh boy.
And there it is. There's that easy World Cup player, that we've talked about. But it is gonna be it's gonna be a double break to start SoCal off here. And even with that 2.5 multiplier, right? If you are on that easy, that means you have the pressure to hold. And even for an experienced reading player, reading under the pressure incredibly difficult. A break's coming in for Neo Blazer and Ocean Boy again, but it is traded out by Bless.
Yeah. But still, this 2.5 multiplier is actually really helping out the side of SoCal here. Just to have this shrivel of a score lead, despite, those two FCs that NorCal has shown here. There goes that miss once again from the side of Ocean Boy. Maybe the easy gambit not really helping them out right now here because of how dense this map can really be here. There is the reason as to why the poolers have chosen this 2.5x easy multiplier here. It's just only Boombox with the sole remaining FC for the side of SoCal.
Yeah, and Bless KM on the recovery for the Hard Rock there, so that's really what's bringing the score lead just ever so slightly over to NorCal. As we get into these more aimey sections here, more of the burst, Banana Man's gonna be the one to find the break. It's traded out by Jake Man. Bless finds the break as well. Banana Man with another break. So it's just a double FC here from Boombox and Katie. This 1v1 on a knife's edge right now. The multiplier from Ocean Boy doing just enough to keep it on their side. Accuracy on Boombox, keeping it for NorCal. Bless missing is gonna keep it there. It's still so close at this halfway point.
Dude, you need Ocean Boy to hold on for a bit to get this score lead towards the side. That score lead is starting to increase now because of those misses that Bless came forth here. But there goes actually your sole remaining FC of SoCal gone. It is just Katie left with their combo.
Yeah, and she had to have seen it at the break. She's the one. She's been the savior for so many maps already. And as long as she keeps holding, if she keeps holding, it doesn't matter what Bless and Banana Man do. The break comes from Ocean Boy. And that is almost a death sentence for SoCal in this winner's bracket.
Banjo.
Katie, just hold.
It was a banter miss
wait.
from the side of Ocean Boy, though. This
Oh
could
my-
still be very much a change maker here if Ocean Boy decides to hold, but it all depends on Katie to hold on here. There are those slight recoveries of Bless KM and also Jakeman, but Jakeman did just miss, though. It's now on Boombox and all up to Ocean Boy here, but that combo of Katie is undeniable. It's not going back to the side of SoCal. This easy score of Ocean Boy is meaningless in the context of a FC potential of Katie here, and with the map closing off with this 144k score difference and rising, this is it for the side of NorCal to finally make it to the winners grands.
Katie shaking so much at the end. Ocean Boy holds as well, but the time is up. Katie shaking. She's happy. She knows what she's just done. And Northern California B will, for the first time in who knows how long, finally clutch it up and make it to the winners grand finals on the backs of a phenomenal carry performance from Katie here. Ocean Boy not going to do enough. The performance was there, the team was there, but in the final moments, it's one single player to do it map over map over map. And it's going to be Northern California to try and defend for this two-time in the minor league grand finals.
Wow, what an opportunity it is for NorCal to finally be in a position that they are. And thankfully, this match did not go to midnight for my time. Unfortunately for Hydro, it is already well past the midnight time for him. Actually, are you in Connecticut right now?
No, I fly
No?
out in 3 weeks, so we are
Oh,
safe
okay.
in that regard.
Yeah, I mean, it's still past midnight, but regardless, it
1
could.
a.m. yet.
Yeah, but regardless, congrats to NorCal B for winning it out here against a gauntlet of a SoCal B roster that a lot of people expect to really sweep it out here, but it was just a presence of Katie.
Yo.
We gotta.
That's not the right one.
We gotta change that real quick. Yo, this is
Hello. All right, well.
Yo, what
oh,
the-
I didn't know that there's
Whatever.
and no, but now I don't know. Make it up in MS Paint as we go. But congratulations to Northern California, to Katie or I Suck at Hidden, Banana Man 533, Bless KM, King Baxter, Kotanashi, and Quachi, even though they were not present for the match today. Congratulations on winning the winners bracket minor league, getting your shot at the grand finals again. And for SoCal B, they've still got a matchup in Texas B if they want to make it to this rematch in the grand finals.
I give up.
Laird admits defeat to the tourney.
I think it's. I swear it's because of the lobby name. Like
could
unironically,
be. Yeah.
it has to
Yeah.
The
be.
lobby name because of
just-
the
it's
long
just
name from the
unknown.
both teams. Like it kind of exceeded the lobby name kind of limit maybe. But yeah, that will be it for us. That is the last match of the finals week here for this tournament for both major and minor league. We will see you this week, for grand finals for these top 3 teams to compete it out here. And yeah, I'm your caster Valine, joined here with Hydro, and we will see you later.
Yeah. Have a good night, folks.